Hey everybody, it's the year 1999, and lately I've been wanting to talk more about the dragons aspect of Dungeons & Dragons. With that in mind, here we go with constructing a dragon-themed D&D party. Now, first thing I was thinking is that the whole party could be dedicated to some powerful dragon, perhaps as part of a temple or even a cult or something. Dragons are very powerful and live for a long time, so it's not unreasonable for a people to dedicate themselves to one. Now, if this is a party for a campaign, what's their objective? I was thinking that their long-term goal could be to track down the Orb of Dragonkind and then be able to present it to their master. Here's a potential backstory. 500 years ago, the noble dragon Sarvek ruled over the land with wisdom and generosity. He protected his people from invaders and guided them as they grew. One day, the evil dragon Grenglin attacked. After a fierce battle, Grenglin dealt a mighty blow to Sarvek, stole the Great Orb, and disappeared. Every so often, brave adventurers try to go after the orb, but none have prevailed. Perhaps this party will be the first one to succeed and be able to return the orb. Now, I may not know much about the Dragonlance setting, but you could probably pull some resources from that world for these purposes. Now, each party member could be in some way dragon related. Not all of them would have to be Dragonborns, but they could be. The Dragonborns are larger than humans, but live for about as long. They get to choose an elemental damage type that they are resistant to, and get a once per rest breath weapon attack from it. Another dragon-themed race is the Draconic Elf. I made this for an elf-themed video back in March. I'll link to that one in the description. They have the main elf stats, some dragon sense, and draconic resilience. Now, as for the classes, the first one that comes to my mind is, well, the Draconic Bloodline Sorcerer, straight from the PHP. These guys draw their spell casting from having dragon blood in their system, which gives them power boosts. Perhaps this guy is some descendant of Sarvek, or if your game's in a more high-tech setting, maybe they got a blood transfusion from a dragonborn wizard. Now, like the Dragonborn, they get to choose an elemental affinity for their dragon type. And if you are a Dragonborn, these don't have to be the same type, so you could use this to get a lot of draconic powers. As they progress, they become more dragon-like, getting some scale-like natural armor, can deal extra elemental damage, grow wings, and even just frighten people with their presence. Next we have the Ancient Dragon Warlock. This is a homebrew subclass made by a guy named Connor Badham on the Dungeon Masters Guild. I will link to his download screen below. They get to also choose an elemental type based on what dragons they made their pact with. Although, if the pact was with Sarvek, then this will probably have been determined by the DM before the campaign started. Although maybe the DM would let the Warlock help him choose Sarvek's color before the beginning of the campaign. These Warlocks can heal the paralyzed or frightened condition from a nearby ally once per rest. At 6th level, they can resist their chosen elemental damage type and increase their own attack power. At level 10, they get advantage on saves against magic, and then at level 14, they can transform magically into a dragon. Next, we have the Way of the Draconic Disciple Monk. This is a subclass I made for a monk video I did back in May, so be sure to check that one out after the elf video that you'll check out after this video. These guys are based around the study of dragons and using ki to imitate their mighty power. Their study grants them bonuses to recall lore about dragons. As you can imagine by now, these guys get to choose an elemental draconic type. At level 1, this lets them have a bonus to their martial arts. At level 16, they get a bonus to their unarmored defense and have resistance to their elemental type. At level 11, they gain the ability to channel their ki into a massive punch.
You're mine, Dragonfish!
Then at level 17, they gain the ability to enter a dragon-like state to battle, complete with a legendary resistance. Now, subclasses aren't the only way to have a themed build. While we're here, let's make a level 5 red dragon based wizard. For the subclass, we're going to go with Evocation. If you want, you can say in-game that your spells are just your Draconic abilities and retexture them accordingly. Perhaps your DM would let you say that you have things like wings, scales, and claws that only activate when you cast a spell. If you want, you could go Dragonborn for this, but I kind of like the idea of a human trying to tap into Draconic powers deeper than himself. Now, as for the cantrips, we're going to go for True Strike, of course. As for the cantrips, we're going to go for Control Flames, Firebolt, maybe Minor Illusion, and Light. And we'll say that these come from, since, you're dragon-like, you've got fire that you can control and present in different ways. Now, for the regular spells, you've got Mage Armor, and you could say that this is your Draconic Scales protecting you. Fog Cloud, because of the smoke you're spewing out. Featherfall, because your wings are helping you fall with style.
Cat. Whoa! Oh, wow, you flew magnificently.
I found my moving buddy.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
That wasn't flying. That was falling with style.
Absorb Elements, because dragons are good at taking hits, especially from their own element. Burning Hands, because of your ability to spew flames. Earth Tremor, because mighty dragons can shake the ground. Find Familiar, because a good dragon has some underlings. Dark Vision, because dragons naturally have dark vision. Enlarge/reduce, that way you can make yourself larger. Gusts of Wind, because your wings are flapping very quickly to make wind. Shatter, from, your massive draconic roar. Dragon's Breath, for hopefully obvious reasons. And Fly, because dragons are pretty fly. For some other quick theme build, almost any barbarian can have a dragon-themed quickly tacked on. You could say that your Rage lets you harness the might of an angry dragon. College of Lore bard who tells the tales of dragons of old. Order cleric dedicated to a paladin. Circle of the Wildfire druid who channels the essence of dragons to destroy so that something new may rise. Hey, perhaps even their wildfire spirit is retextured to look like a dragon. In Oath of Waters paladin who looks over the world like a benevolent dragon guardian. Hey, perhaps even a Beastmaster whose primal companion is retextured to look like a dragon. And you know what? That's all I really have today. Let me know if you can think of any other Draconic subclasses or themed builds. Hey, here's a challenge for you. Try to see if you can create a Draconic Artificer who crafts dragon-themed items. If you want to see some other themed builds like this one, I've got one for the Star Wars Jedi and for Nature Magic. Definitely want to do something like this for Arcane and Divine Magic. If you want to see me in action, check out either of my two D&D podcasts. The first is a regular D&D game called Enter the Dungeon, where the players are hunting down magical MacGuffins known as the Planar Gems. The other campaign is with people from the Super Carlin Brothers Patreon Discord. Right now they're on the run from S.H.I.E.L.D. trying to find refuge on the planet from Onward. And that's it from me. I've been the Ars 1999. Have a great day, and God bless.